Today we're going to draw a Tasmanian devil. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you're going to follow along with me. You have something to draw with and some paper in front of you. I'm using a Sharpie, but you don't have to if you don't want to. You can use a pencil if you feel more comfortable drawing with a pencil. If you have a marker, you want to make sure you have more than one sheet of paper so that your marker doesn't bleed through and get onto the table. Now in this lesson, if I go too fast, you can always pause the video to take extra time. All right, we're going to first start by drawing our Tasmanian devil's eye up in the top left corner of our paper. I'm going to draw a circle, kind of an oval shape, and then inside of that I'm going to draw a smaller circle and color in the large circle. Okay, now I'm going to draw a little curve that goes over the top of his eye, and I'm also going to draw a curve that goes underneath his eye. This is because they have a patch of lighter fur around their eyes. Now we're going to draw his forehead and his nose. And it's going to be an S line. We're going to start over his eye. I'm going to go over, curve down, and then curve back up. Kind of looks like an S line. Curves one way and then back the other way. Then at the end of this line, we're going to draw a circle for his nose. Then we're going to draw a little line that comes down for the front of his nose. And then this is going to curve back under for his chin. Now let's draw his ears. We're going to draw one line that goes up diagonal, and then it's going to come back down with a curve. Okay, now inside of his ear, let's draw the pink part. We're going to draw another line that goes right next to the first line we drew, and then it's going to come back the other direction, and then we're going to connect both sides with a curve. Now let's make him look 3D by drawing his second ear. I'm going to draw an A shape that goes up and back down. Next, let's draw his mouth. We're going to draw a curve that curves down, and it's going to stop underneath his eye. Now they have really sharp teeth, so let's draw one tooth, a V shape coming down for his tooth. The front of their nose is like a light brown, so let's draw a line that's going to separate the light brown from the dark fur on his head. Now let's draw the back of his head. We're going to imagine this forehead line coming through his ear and then coming out the back. Next, let's draw his chest, and we're going to draw some fur. So we're going to draw a zigzag line that comes down for his chest. So we'll start right here. I'm going to go down, up, and create a little fur line that comes down and curves into his front leg. Now let's draw that first leg. We're going to draw a line that comes down, and then we're going to draw the back of his leg. So we're going to draw a little more fur back here, and then this line is going to come down closer to his wrist. So as it comes down, it's going to taper. Now let's draw his paw. So we're going to draw a claw. They have these sharp little claws. So we'll draw a hook line that comes down and back up. Then we're going to draw his next toe. Same line, curve that comes down and then back up. And then one more. And then this one's going to come back up and connect. Now we're just going to draw 3 toes. Let's draw his other foot over here. We're going to draw the leg line that comes down the front of his leg. And then we're going to draw the back of his leg, and it's going to do the same thing that this one did. It tapers down to his wrist. Now we're going to draw the toes sticking out to the left. So we draw that top line that comes down and then hooks back, similar to this foot over here, because they have these really sharp claws. Now we're going to draw his middle toe, and then we're going to draw one more. And this one's going to connect back into his leg. Next, we're going to draw his belly, and it's just a short line. And we're imagining his chest line coming behind his front leg and coming out the back. Now we're going to draw his hind legs, but they're bent because he's sitting down. So we're going to draw a C shape, and we're going to add some fur lines also. So we're going to draw this C shape that comes and connects to his belly. Then we're going to draw some zigzag lines. And then we'll finish the C shape coming under. Now we're going to draw his back line that's going to come and connect into that. So let's draw a curve that starts up here behind his head. And we're going to add some fur lines also. So a little zigzag. And then we're going to keep going. And then it's going to curve down here and then connect into his back leg. Now let's draw the rest of his back leg along with his foot. We're going to draw a curve that comes out and hooks down for his claw, and it's going to hook back. Then we're going to draw his middle toe, same line, and it's really repeating the same steps up here for his front foot. And we're going to draw one more. This time it's going to hook back and it's going to come back really far and then curve into his back leg. Now let's make him look 3D, so let's draw his second foot back here. We're going to draw his leg that comes down, and we can draw a little zigzag for the fur line. And then we're going to draw his little foot back here, just so you can see it and it looks 3D. So a little curve that comes down and hooks back. Then we'll draw that second toe, and then the third one. And they have more toes, but we're just drawing 3 to keep it easy. There we go, we finished his body and his legs. Now let's draw his tail. We're going to draw a curve, backwards C, that comes around. Then we're going to draw another one right next to it. And I'm going to draw it shorter. This way we can connect these two lines with a zigzag so it looks like he's got a furry tail. Now it kind of looks like a Tasmanian devil, but he has these white patches on his chest and also on his back leg. So let's draw those in next. We're going to draw a little V shape, and then it's going to turn into a zigzag line. It almost looks like a lightning bolt going across his chest. Then we're going to draw one underneath that, and it's going to get closer to the first one we drew. Next we're going to connect the top one with the bottom one by drawing a sideways V shape. There we go, we drew his first white patch on his chest. Now we're going to add another patch back here on his back leg. We're going to draw a zigzag lightning bolt coming in. And then we're going to do another zigzag line coming down underneath it. And we'll do the same thing, we'll connect the top with the bottom with a sideways V. There we go, we finished our Tasmanian devil. Now we could add, let's add a couple whisker lines right here. Now I'm going to put my marker off to the side. Now I got my colored pencils, and I also have a peach. I have a black, brown, peach color, and pink. This part I'm going to fast forward, but you at the end can pause the video to match the coloring. He's going to look a lot cooler once we get that fur texture in there. Now when you color in your Tasmanian devil, you want to use short strokes to fill in the fur texture. And you want to go in the direction of the fur. This is going to make him look more realistic, and it's going to also make him look like he has short fur instead of long fur. If you use long strokes, like really long like this, he's going to look like he has long hair. Finished coloring my Tasmanian devil. Now I mixed brown and black to create his fur texture to try and make it look more realistic, but to keep that easier, you could just use black. And then around his eye, his nose, and also his feet, I mixed peach and brown to try and get a different color. Now to keep that easier, you could just use light brown. Now it's okay if your drawings don't look exactly like mine, because the most important thing is to have fun and to practice. Remember, the second time you draw your Tasmanian devil, it'll turn out better than the first time. We'll see you later, art friends. Goodbye!